What's going on, guys? Welcome back to our third.
That's insane.
Third podcast.
We've knocked out 3 so far.
This is gonna be our third one. We've never been so consistent doing stuff or like on a certain idea in a row.
It's fun,
right?
though. I like it. So that's Rob.
And that's Tay.
I'm Tay, and we're back with another podcast. And today's topic, we're going to be talking about the common message, or just the education system as a whole, I guess.
Yes.
What we're talking about is education today. So that we're talking elementary, middle, high, and college.
That college degree, baby.
Yeah, we're talking about, I guess, the negative, the good, and the alternative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the alternative is where a lot of people go, but then again, it has a lot of negative connotations.
There's a little bit of contrast. He's in college. I'm not.
Oh yeah, we'll have a good standpoint on this, and definitely you made me surprised about our reviews. So
yeah, well, I think honestly, this is something that we both kind of agree with. Just because we have different paths, we both agree with this.
I guess you guys will be more surprised about how I'm saying what I'd say because I go to college, so it's like I'd be all for college. But I guess we'll get into that. So what's the first one we got on the list?
So the first bulletin point that we made on our board back there is the common message. You know, go to school, don't do drugs, go to school. The little dare tiger.
You'll be nothing without a college degree.
Yeah.
You'll end up at McDonald's.
Yes.
So we really have to touch base on that because that message is, listen, I'm a firm believer of this. We cannot give the same message as if we're like a herd of ants. Everyone's message does not resonate with everyone the same. So that message of go to college or you'll be nothing, as a person who has a college degree and going for my second, throw that out of the window. It's not true, right? That message, just you'll be nothing. You can be whatever you want to be.
But that being said, go to school.
No, yeah, sure, it's the only way.
Yeah.
So I guess we wouldn't really address this like.
So you're kind of actually jumping in the next topic, so it's negative. Don't go to college.
Let me say the first one then. The message that we're used to hearing is you go to college. That's how you're going to secure a job, and you'll just be happy.
Making six figures.
You'll be nothing.
Be able to raise a family.
Right. And that's what we really want to, with the messages that we normally get. You'll be a failure, pretty much.
Which, to a certain point, I agree with it.
It could go that way. Don't get me wrong, but that's what we're going to get into detail
other
about.
Layers to this.
So what's number two?
So now it would be the negative of going, I guess I guess negative is wrong. The opposite of don't go to college.
Okay, yeah. That is also. You have to take this with a grain of salt. So not going to college. What do they say about people who don't go to college?
You're bum.
You're not gonna be anything.
You're bum. You're uneducated.
You'll be at I keep saying McDonald's because that's what they used to tell us. You'll be working at McDonald's.
Yeah, or you're gonna be begging on the street.
Yep. No, you're not gonna get married. No one's gonna like you. You're just gonna be and this is my opinion. Yeah. I guarantee you they might silence me for this, but I feel like.
Uh-oh.
If
is their channel going down? Wait, what's going on?
The reason?
Think about this. We put years and years into this.
I feel like, and this is just me, I feel like that agenda, because we have to understand, right? Colleges are funded. They're not government funded. They make a lot of money. So
it's a business. College is a business.
So the board of trustees, the people who own that college, go ahead.
It was unrelated, but the people who made college, did they go to school? They couldn't have.
That's impossible.
College wasn't a thing, so it's a business.
So it's like, what I was going to get to the point is that, like, you have to understand that they're driving home that message because, yes, they found a way to, I guess, legitimize working class, and they found a way to have something that you can hold on to, aka a college degree that makes you better than someone else. Yeah. But you have to understand, if they genuinely wanted it to be better, they genuinely wanted to educate somebody, it wouldn't be $10,000 a semester. So like they're making
and they wouldn't
money.
Make you take so much BS classes that make no sense. Dude.
You have to understand, like you said, it's a business. They're making a lot of money.
They want to keep you in there as long as possible.
It's not. You have to understand this. So Harvard, Oakland University, Michigan State. The people that they hire in there, they may even have convinced themselves that their message is to get people to be successful.
Yeah.
But the people who actually invented it, the people that run that university, they wouldn't be doing it if they weren't making money. Don't forget that. They're doing it for money. It's their job. Yeah. So it's like, they're driving this message that, yes, may have a connotation of wanting us to be successful, but at the end of the day, they would not be doing that out of the kindness of their heart. They're making millions, billions of dollars every year off of us going to school.
Oh, yeah, and I feel like now, especially now, I feel like the more you progress in the future, more people are going to college. Because back in the day, in the good old days, there weren't that many people who went to college.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. It's not.
I don't think it was. I think there were a few people, but most people could just get a job and be happy and be able to raise a whole family off a single household income. Now it's
just working out. What's the job that you can? Like a car factory, Chrysler, Ford. Yeah, so we'll get to that. But I guess my point is that like I don't know how, and I'm not going to go too much into this because I'm not about taking the education system down. That's not what this talk is about. Not necessarily. It's just you have to understand they're doing it for money. Like everything's a business, right? And somehow the job system got behind it where it's like, you know what? We should make someone have a bachelor's degree in accounting for this job. Like that, we'll get the better accountant if they have this degree. Let's go ahead and make it a requirement. And that business feels like they're getting a better person because that person has a degree, and the school's getting a lot of money because now you have students going to that university to obtain that degree, paying the university thousands upon thousands of dollars to obtain that piece of paper. And in actuality, yes, depending on what they're learning, depending on the curriculum, they may have more knowledge about accounting. But is that going to make them an overall better human for that job?
No, I think that differs. Like that's kind of our next point, the levels and the BS class that you got to go through. But I think it differs job. Like if you're a surgeon, yeah, you want that person to go to school,
of course,
and learn things. I don't think I could just go in there and shadow somebody with no degree of nursing or doctors, whatever. And be able to become you might be able to, but it's I wouldn't trust a doctor who doesn't have a degree. So, but if you're going into a business like an accountant or something, that is something you could actually just pick up.
You can learn
There's a lot of things, man. Like I remember when because at one point I was in college, I was going as because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just doing business. I didn't learn anything. Anything.
Is that not insane? They label it as business, and what I guess what's the message of? So when you went to college, what's the message of when you picked business? What did you think you were gonna? Did you think you're gonna?
I just thought it was I didn't even know, man. Admittedly, I was a little lost at the time, but I was just like, okay, well maybe this will help me become a manager of X business, and then
I'll learn more about business.
Yeah, I genuinely really did not learn much, and there are just. We said it before, but there are just so many classes that I took had nothing to do with it. Like, why do I have to learn about chemistry? Why do I have to learn about science? Why do I have to learn about...
You have to ask yourself those things. And even for me, I want to keep with that same theme as an education major. You guys probably know now, I was in school to be a teacher. I'm literally a senior, so I may walk very soon. So I guess the point is that, even for me in my school phase, the classes that are being... they make you take classes that have nothing to do with their degree.
No.
You have to ask yourself, why is that? Why is an education major who will be teaching history or a major, whatever your major is, why is it that I'm having to learn about science when I have no desire? Why am I learning about why am I writing 25-page papers when that will... you have to understand, it's not about your interest level, because they can say, that's one level of it for sure, but it's also if you're going to school to be something specific, right, and you know that you're going to be doing this. So if I know I'm going to be teaching high school and they're going to give me a curriculum to teach, why am I learning everything that's not going to be in that curriculum?
Exactly. And they'll argue that you need to have a base foundation.
A well-rounded...
But here's the thing, man. If you have no interest in a certain class, I didn't really care about science and chemistry. When I went there, yeah, I got an A. Some classes I got a B, whatever. Literally a week later after I left, ask me anything back. I don't remember a dang thing.
Because it doesn't... You have to, and again...
I learned it temporarily, and then once I didn't need it anymore, I forgot most of it.
Listen, and we're paying, whether you're paying for it or the government's paying for it, they're getting paid. Yeah, these classes are not cheap.
You learn all the fundamentals in elementary school, middle school, high school. That I agree. You need to learn stuff like that. But after that, you're in college. Why do you still have to do that?
Do you understand that the first 2 years of your major degree, in a lot of degree programs, you're learning the exact same stuff, maybe a little bit heightened than you were in high school?
But it's pointless.
Yeah, you learn the exact same stuff.
You're wasting time, and you're spending money.
It's concerning, and we have to. I'm sure people talk about this all the time, and we may be one of the more informal people talking about it. I'm sure there's bigger channels talking about this topic, but it's just the fact of the matter. We have to understand what education is. I don't just think that this is the only way. Understand what, at least to a point, because we could talk about this for hours. Understand to a point of what you're actually doing. Don't just get brainwashed and I'm going to go get me an accounting degree and I'll be the best. No, stop right there. You're going to make sure before you get to the accounting degree, make sure you get ready to take English, science, reading, electives. And don't get me wrong, electives. Why, if I want to be an accountant, do I have to take karate?
I know, yeah. I remember
Why?
I took a gym class, a kickboxing
they make
class
you take it
when I
though
was
too,
doing business.
as a requirement. Let's talk as a requirement to something that has nothing to do with it. Why am I taking a gym class in college?
Well, Tehran, it's so that you're well-rounded and well-versed with everything, every aspect of life.
Younger me was like,
come on, Tehran, you're a teacher. You should know this.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Yeah, I mean, sign me up.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. At one point, I did agree with that.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense. Yeah, sure. That's what happens.
You just go with it.
This is a very strong terminology.
They put this on silent, sorry.
They take advantage of our want to be success. We're told that we want this is how to be successful.
Wrong button. Sorry, I'm sorry, guys.
And they take it and they say this is how you're successful, and they kind of feed on that, and then you come to school and you sign up for all these classes and they make thousands of dollars. So,
thousands,
millions.
Yeah.
So it's like it's insane. It's a business. Understand that if they genuinely, if there was like show me a completely free university where you can get an accredited degree for free, like not a college or university that gets you the same degree, but you like. That they downplay like, oh well, he got that degree from so and so. It's not as good as here. No, show me a accredited college that can get you the same quality of degree. So say you went to University of Michigan to get a degree in engineering. Show me a degree that's free that you get that entire degree for free from start to finish, and it's the exact same degree for free. My point is that if it was genuine and they genuinely wanted you to learn something, it wouldn't cost you $80,000 to $2,000.
It wouldn't cost you that much, and it wouldn't take 5-6 years of your life.
Yeah, so
you could literally, it could be a year.
And it's a business. And that's I kind of like kind wraps up that point. But it's a business.
You know what's funny though? We're talking about this while we're in a university.
We're in a university.
We're stealing a little classroom. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So next topic. Let me put my glasses on for this.
What does that say?
Reality.
Okay, yeah, the reality of things, right?
Which we kind of brushed.
We did, but
I feel like we've already brushed on a lot of these, but it's okay.
We'll just, I guess, give them closing
dissect
statement.
yeah.
The reality of it is this, man. I'll start. We're not gonna change this overnight, and I don't even know how to change it yet, right?
Is it possible?
Is it even possible?
Let's say, you start your own business, we start our own business, and we make millions and billions of dollars. Is it even possible if we had the money and the resources to open a college and be like, hey, this is what we're doing? Would the government let us?
I feel like it will take a bunch. I'll say a group of very powerful and influential people to start something like that.
We need Andrew Tate.
Yeah, you'll need some very powerful and like some people to actually do that. One billionaire is not going to do it because they can silence one person.
Yeah.
So I just feel like
I wonder if that is actually genuinely possible. That would be something like.
And you have to understand. So for me, I'm getting a degree in education. This is a true story. They ask you, right? I went through 4 years of BS of undergrad stuff before I got to my actual teaching classes. And they ask you have to apply to the program to be a teacher, and they ask you why do you want to be a teacher. And throughout my 2-page paper, I described how I wanted to change the education system. I didn't talk about, I love this, I want to retire when I'm 60, I want to be in the classroom forever, I love the kids. I didn't talk about that at all.
You didn't follow the sheep.
No, I did not follow the sheep. I told them what's wrong, how we're not updated, etc. We're not going to get into that. Do you know what happened to me?
You failed?
No. They gave me an email, and I had to meet with 3 people of the board of the college. I met with 2 deans.
Yeah.
And the person that accepts people they questioned me on my desire or love to be a teacher. They were like, "Are you sure you're in the right field?"
So like you were pretty much like interrogated.
Yeah, I was interrogated. Yeah, for sure.
Did they offer you donuts and coffee?
Nope, they didn't offer me none of that. They were at the meeting and they straight faced. They were asking me things like, "Well, why do you like?" They were like,
because they see people. They don't want people like that. Mm-hmm. And they don't want people who can actually make a change.
I remember one lady. I can't remember her name, and if I did, I won't even say it. But she looked at me and she was like, "Are you sure you're in the right field?" A lot of times, we have education majors, and they express a more desire to be in the classroom, be with the kids, and stuff like that. And I was like, and at that point in time, I slid in my resume. I was like, I've been working with kids for the last 8 years. My love is clearly
you
there.
love kids, yeah.
I love children. Don't get me wrong. I am one of the best educators I feel like that I've ever crossed paths with, and that's humbly speaking. Mm-hmm. But I also understand that it's on a bigger scale, and I gave them my resume, and they were like, okay.
Okay, so the memory card was full, so we had to. All right.
Cool.
Okay, continue.
So I guess so. Again, just to finish the story up quickly. So I had to have a third or second meeting after that meeting, and a very powerful person within the school system. I think he was a superintendent. I forget. He was superintendent for some school, and then he works for the university now. But he invited me to lunch outside of the university, so we ended up going to Olga's kitchen. And pretty much his message was that one of 2 things. Number one, I can't pretty much say the stuff that I was saying without being frowned upon yet.
And they won't allow you.
And they won't allow me to. And also, he agrees with my message and what I want to do. Maybe we'll do a different video. You guys can ask me in the comments what I actually want to do with the school system. We don't have time for it though. He told me pretty much that I needed to be in a position of power to actually enact on these things because that's not how the system's set up.
No. So essentially he told you keep your mouth shut until you get to a lot higher power, and then that's when you can...
And he gave me kind of a guideline of how to do that, and I will respect him forever for that. You know who you are if you ever see this video. But yeah. So, and I guess to wrap this up, it's... I guess where we're at, the reality. Yeah, the reality of it is this: like the school system's broken.
It is,
and we could, we got a couple more topics to talk about, but it's broken. It's not how it should be. We'll just leave it at that. What's next?
So now we have the end result and the depth. So
End
kind
results.
of
Yeah.
the positive and the negative, I guess. So
Right.
a lot of people.
Let's talk about the debt.
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
The debt. So you have to understand that we kind of touched based on money before, but a lot of us, let's say less fortunate, or let's just say not rich, or lower middle class or middle class, whatever you want to call it, a lot of us have to use financial aid to pay for a lot of our college.
mm-hmm.
That will eventually run out.
Yep.
And you'll have to pay out of pocket. Now, whether that's you or you have the money to pay for yourself all the way through, whether it's debt or initial costs, you're going to spend a lot of money.
Depending on the field, yeah.
And I would like to say this, a lot of us aren't just paying out just straight cash and with no debt coming out. Some of us are coming out with debt. The vast majority of us are. And that debt will set us back. So whatever job we sign up to get with a degree, that debt will set us back. You may never pay that debt off.
You may never
and
pay
if you
it
do,
off.
you may be 50 or 60. So you will always be financially hindered by choices. I just want, like, I'm not saying don't. I'm not saying people have plans. They have plans of action where they say 5 years I'm paying this off. They do that. I just want to bring it to light and speak it out to and let people know that you will have money to pay off. It's not just get your degree and scot-free. You're going to be paying a lot of money off.
Yeah, and honestly, we can probably jump into the next bulletin because everyone knows about that. That's not something that's not talked about. So now let's talk about the success.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's the thing. All this smack that we've been talking, we just think that the system should be changed.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, I think a majority of people should. Even though I have not gone to school, I think a majority of people should go to school in order to be successful, depending on the job. Now, if you go in for,
I'm a huge advocate for education.
Yeah, if you go in for to be a doctor, a lawyer, and you pass well and you get a good job, you're going to make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to make a lot of money, and you're going to be successful, and you're going to have very low risk in the future.
This is the point. This is not to point fingers, but let's talk about the degrees that may not guarantee you success. The arts degrees,
be the risk, yeah.
The arts degrees.
If you go in for communication,
communication that may land you a 16-hour HR job,
business,
a history, a regular English or history science degree, things that don't get you into a specific field where you're guaranteed a job or some kind of security. You're incurring so much debt to come out working nowhere. I have a colleague of mine who was a history major, and he's walking in 6 days to be for a history degree. He applied, let's just put it this way, he's going to be a bachelor's degree student coming out with $60,000 in debt, and he's going to go work at a museum for $17 an hour.
See, that's the really sad reality of it.
And that's not false. That happens wide.
It's common. It's super
So
common.
I would say the way the system is now, because I'm going to try to change it where, but inshallah, whatever I do, it's you have to make sure when you go to school, you're picking something that's gonna guarantee you some kind of success.
Mm-hmm.
You're
gonna have to be happy with picking with a degree like what you were saying, history, for example, that you're happy with, but you might not be
financially
super
stable.
wealthy.
Yeah,
you really might not be.
Just
which is okay for some people.
Be aware.
Yeah.
Be aware because it really sucks. Like you might
because people try to put this idea in your head: if you go to school, no matter what it is, and you're going to be successful.
No,
I can confidently tell you, I, who do not have a college degree, make more money than a lot of people who have a college degree.
And that's just the truth
of it. And that's sad.
And that's not even him being arrogant. That's the truth that needs to be spoken more. Every time you hear that, you hear someone saying that, oh, well, he's just... That's the sad truth of it, and a lot of us college kids need to understand that. And it can be flipped as well. There's a lot of people that went to college for, like you said, doctors, engineers, whatever, and they make much more money than him.
Oh yeah, look, there's a much better chance of you being successful going to school than not going to school.
But if you pick the right, the way the system is now, you have to pick the right thing.
Correct, but that's what I'm saying. If you make the right choices, you're going to be successful.
Right. So it's like right now it's really, I guess, we're not changing the education system overnight, but it's very clear, like you just said, do your research. Pick the right thing. It's literally all in your hand. No one can force you to do anything. And if college truly is for you, which a lot of us coming out of high school or going back to school, returning, want to go to college, just pick the right thing and understand if finances are actually some of your goal or if you just want to go because you like it. Understand both of those things.
In conclusion, he is someone who goes to college and he advocates for college. I am someone who did not go to college, but I still advocate going to college. That being said, it is not right for everybody. And there are certain people who won't go to college who will not be successful. There are certain people who won't go to college and will be very successful. So, which can be a different topic for another day.
We'll talk about that. But you just understand that point, and let's just get to the risk part of not going to college. I guess we kind of touched base on it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not going to be, like for me, for example, here's the thing. I just said earlier that I make more money than a lot of people who probably do have a degree. But I could be fired at any second.
Exactly, and you have nothing to back you.
I could be the best employee, but for some reason I rub someone wrong the wrong way, and I'm out the door,
So,
and I'm back to zero with no degree.
The risk is, and then also, but you could say, oh, I have a history degree. If you have a regular history degree, what backing do you really have if you're going to be at a museum making $16 an hour?
I mean, yeah,
it depends.
It's a double.
There's risk in both, you guys.
Yep.
We don't have all like 2 hours to talk about this. If you guys have more questions about this topic, please comment because I will definitely go into depth. I'm sure Rob will too. Depth about like whatever you guys want to, but we kind of gave you guys a brief, synopsis about what we feel about the education system. We can talk about specific degree plans. We can talk about my degree plan in education. I'm sure Rob will talk about his path.
Yeah.
We'll talk about whatever you guys want. Drop a comment though, but that's kind of what we got for education.
Yeah, and actually, yeah, I mean, I feel like this is probably more of a quicker one that we did.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know if you like these quicker videos, or if you like the more longer, like our YouTube one was like 30 some minutes, I think.
For sure.
I think this is about half that. So let us know what you guys like, and please give us ideas to talk about. We will pretty much talk about anything. And I feel like we don't say this a lot. Like the video, subscribe, follow us on our social media. And until next time, do you have anything you want to say?
Nah, until next time, guys. We'll be pumping these out. So.
Come up with a name for us, man. We need a name for these podcasts.
Yeah, we do.
We can't just be like, this is Robin Tate's podcast.
We'll come with a catchy name. Hopefully someone will comment.
Yeah, I want you guys to choose a name. So
until next time, guys.
Yeah. See you later, and go to school and don't drink drugs.
Go to school, don't do drugs, don't work at McDonald's.
Yeah, and Goku's still better than Naruto.
No, he's not. He's gonna try to.
That could be a topic.
Yeah, that would be a great topic.
Okay,
you'll lose that, but okay, great topic.
Okay, guys. See you later.
See you.
Bye.